Good morning. I thought today, instead of doing another block, which we'll do next week, it's time to do Valentine's. So I have the step-by-step here for you to make the Valentine wall hanging that is laying there. I will have the pattern available at Calico Cottage. You either can call for the pattern or you can come in and receive the pattern, or you can just take it from this video. So you are going to need 45 2.5-inch squares. You're going to need 8 2.5 by 6.5 rectangles. You're going to need 8 3 1/4-inch squares. These we will be making into half square triangles, and you will need 20 2.5 by 6.5-inch rectangles for the border. Now that should all be out of the pinks and reds. So we're talking 45 2.5-inch squares, 8 2.5 by 6.5 rectangles, 8 3 1/4-inch squares that'll be made into half square triangles, and 20 2.5 by 6.5 rectangles that we made for the border. On your background, you will need 8 3 1/4-inch squares. Again, these will be used with your pinks and reds for your half square triangles. You will need 4 4.5-inch squares. You will need 4 2.5 by 10.5-inch rectangles. That is what I used as sashing. And then for your first border, you'll need 2 2.5 by 22.5-inch rectangles and 2 2.5 by 26-inch rectangles. This will be your first border. So let's go through the steps. Number 1, you are going to make 4 9 patches. Up in your upper left-hand corner, you will see a 9 patch made. Not difficult. Then you will do the red or pink and the background color, the 3 1/4-inch, drawing your diagonal line on your light color, or typically your background, on the wrong side, sewing a 1/4 inch on each side, cutting and pressing to the dark side. Then you're going to add 2 of those to one of your squares. Your 2.5-inch squares. Now, I'm going to go over and show you. This is the step, and if you look closely, you'll see that I have ripped this piece because it has to go on a certain way. This is your 2.5 by 6.5-inch right here. It has to go, and your tendency is to put it to the top of this. It goes to the bottom, so it has to look exactly like that. So you'll see it looks like that. And then we're adding that 4.5-inch square that's the background. So we have 9 patch, this piece added, then we add this piece with the square to make our heart. Very, very easy. It just takes a little time to do that. So again, this is the heart Valentine wall hanging. Again, let me tell you what you will need in pinks and reds. And I did pinks and reds because I'm not always sure that I like reds going together. So I did a combination. As you can tell from the video, batiks and solid or 100% cotton that is not a batik together. So it really makes no difference. So you will need 45 2.5-inch squares. Now we're talking pink and red. 8 2.5 by 6.5-inch rectangle. That's that piece along the bottom I showed you. 8 3 1/4-inch squares. This is what you're going to make your half square triangles. And 20 2.5 by 6.5 rectangles around the border. I did everything, just sewed the 2.5 by 6.5 rectangles around the border. I just did it continuously. In your background, you'll need 8 3 1/4-inch squares. Again, that's your half square triangles. 4 4.5-inch squares. That's the big square up in the corner of your heart. 4 2.5 by 10.5 inch rectangles. That's the sashing between your hearts. And then for first border, I used my background fabric so those hearts would stand out. 2.5 by 22.5 inch rectangle, and 2.5 by 26.5 inch rectangle. Feel free to contact Calico Cottage at 402-463-6767 if you would like the pattern and we're not able to get it off the video that I did today. I hope you have a very good day and have lots of fun making your Valentine heart wall hanging.